Hey fam, I want you to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Roland S. Martin. And don't forget to turn on your notifications. Another poll looked at how people view the extent of discrimination against certain ethnic groups by other ethnic groups. And this is a chart from the Washington Post, based again on Pew data, shows that white Republicans think they think blacks face the most discrimination, Hispanic just a little less. But white Republicans think that whites are discriminated against more than Hispanics and almost as much as African Americans. Worse, when you break it down to a lot of discrimination versus some discrimination, white Republicans think whites face a lot of discrimination more than blacks or Hispanics. This shows how crazy white Republicans are.
Well, it shows also the power of white privilege. The power of white privilege. But more importantly, it shows this, that white people have gotten so comfortable with telling black people and the world what's racism and what isn't, how they've been discriminated against by reverse racism and reverse discrimination, and that they deeply believe it because it frees them from their guilt of how they have treated people of color for 400 years. That poll is the result of what they've done to free themselves from that guilt and to be able to bastardize racial violence, racial profiling, and racial injustice over the years. So I'm not surprised at that at all. White people really do believe that the browning of America is not only upon them, but they are going to suffer even more because of the browning of America, because they know what they did when they were in the majority. They fear most what people of color are going to do to them when people of color are in the majority. And it's just not true. We are built differently, we think differently, and we want to be fully integrated into what the best of America represents. But that poll shows you what white people really think.
Alexis, 2009, I said we were living in the age of white minority resistance. That white people are walking around scared to death because America is changing. I'm working on a book right now called White Fear, and that's what we're dealing with. But white Republicans actually think that white folks face more discrimination than black people. They are out of their damn mind.
I'm just like, face more discrimination where? I don't understand where that idea comes from. I think it comes from just wanting to have a little bit of a victimhood. It's like, well, what about me? I have issues too, and it's just like, let's not ignore the reality of the situation. Like this idea that white people face more, again, to trying to change, trying to maintain the narrative that has already existed. This is the 2019 version of the white man's burden, the concept, old school concept that white men had so hard having to teach slaves and Native Americans how to speak English and how to be humane and not be barbaric. This is the 2019 version of it. Like, what is your actual discrimination? That people are saying that black people are speaking out and saying that white supremacy exists? Is that what your burden is? That black people are trying to rise up and go against systematic oppression? Is that what your burden is? So for me, for a white person, if a white person were to say, or a Republican, whoever, that white people face more discrimination than black people, give me some examples. How is that so? When we clearly see incidents where black people are outside having a barbecue and they get the police called them. We don't see so many instances where a white person is outside having a cookout and black people are, calling the police. Or at Starbucks,
in fact, you want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com.